Hi guys, this is Ginger. This is Ginger's chat show. I don't know why the live video is starting and buffering, and it's been doing that for some time now. I don't know what Facebook is doing. When you can just go into my Facebook page and just message me if you can. I don't. Anyway, it's very frustrating. Um, Today, well, this is Monday, September 22nd, and the second day of fall. First day of fall was yesterday. Um, and I want to, before I get into more serious topics, I want to congratulate the Seattle Mariners on their American League West championship. And they beat out the 3-game sweep of Houston Astros. Now, if you're a Houston Astro fan, I'm sorry, but you guys had your issues and everything. I don't know why my thing feels like it's not straight. There, it should be better now. I'm not like I'm tilting. Um. Anyway, they played very well, and the Mariners are flying home today, and then they'll take basically somewhat of a day off, and then tomorrow they play against Detroit, which will be in town tomorrow. Um. So anyway, I am exercising my freedom of speech. In other words, I tell it like it is. I'm very blunt. Okay. And yes, there's certain how should word it right where people don't get um get upset. You know, you run into people that sit there and, in other words, overly sensitive, like Taco Donnie back in DC. He's so oversensitive, it's not even funny. In other words, the guy has never really grew up. Okay. And if people don't like me talking ill against Trump, well, that's just too bad. Because Trump works for me. He's supposed to work for me. Congress is supposed to work for us. All the departments that do public service are supposed to work for the people and represent us, right? Well, he's trying to twist all that, and well, I'm twisting back. And if Trump doesn't like it, just tough. He's got to grow up, and he's got to be told to grow up, okay? And yes, he has dementia issues, and yes, he has heart issues. He brought that all on himself. He never really concentrated on making himself healthy and live longer. He's never learned anything. He doesn't know how anything works. Okay? He doesn't know civics, which we'll be going on to that in the next minute. He doesn't know civics, um, how the government's supposed to work and how it was set up. There we go. I'm trying to get my pen to work. And so he is telling the House and Congress what to do. Uh-uh. That's not how it works, Trump. It doesn't work that way. Ever. You submit a bill, House will look it over, various committees, and they talk to both sides. They should be all working together. GOP right now, like Trump, is acting like a little spoiled brat. Just because they can't get their way. Well, that's just too much. That's just too bad. It's called compromised. GOP and MAGA. MAGA Mike, you're an idiot. All this, we're keeping records, okay? And when you're doing this, you're speeding toward more of a ouster than ever. Because by this time next year, in 2026, you will be out of a job. You and your elk. You'll be given the boot. And I hope a new party forms. Party needs to replace the GOP. It really does. You guys let in a toddler, a 79-year-old toddler, in to mess everything up. And again, the guy doesn't know how anything works. Okay. Sure, I'm repeating that mantra, but it's true. It really is true. Um, the House better start building a spine. I'm talking about the Magas and GOP. Why are they so afraid of Trump? Does he have something on them, as in blackmail? Kind of makes you wonder. Is it blackmail? Because blackmail is a big no-no. Because you know what happens to blackmailers? They have all these crazy people come out of the woodwork and create problems. Okay? Create harm. Now, yesterday, they had this Charlie Kirk memorial. I never heard of the guy. Okay? I'm sorry he got killed. But that's just because he opened his mouth on hate. Okay? It's sort of like, I don't know why they glom onto this guy. I really don't. Because I never heard of him, number one. I think the GOP and Trump is looking for an excuse to distract from the Epstein files. Well, release the files, okay, as part of the evidence. Just release it. And let us make up our own minds. But I know Epstein was a child trafficker, and he should have been in jail for a long time. Of course, I think now Trump may have shut him up permanently because he didn't want his name out there. Well, that's going to make Trump dig a deeper hole. He's already in a very deep hole now. Okay. He's already got the 34 counts against him. He's a convicted felon, and he should not be in office. And the enablers. Hey guys, you're getting yourselves into trouble too. Think about that. People need to hit back by flooding Congress with calls and say, look, we don't like any of this is going on. We don't like our health care taken away because we need health care. All of us need health care. Both the GOP and the Democratic side. We need health care. Because if you do that, you're in trouble there too. You're hurting your own people by doing that. So, let's keep the health care going, okay? Stop this thing about I thought the government budget was already settled. Okay? But apparently it wasn't. The House needs to ignore Trump. The Congress, the legislature side, is independent of the White House. They don't work for the White House. You guys work for the people in the United States. The president works for the people in the United States. And Trump, by the way, you're fired. You are out the door. And I can understand why people keep Congress in there. You guys need to grow a spine. I don't understand you. Why are you enabling Trump? I'm not talking about the Democrats. I'm talking about the Magas and the GOP. Or there's some traditional GOP in there that's trying to do their jobs, but they're being thwarted by MAGA to do their jobs. So, you know what I suggest you do? The traditional GOP, switch party to the Democratic side. And you know what happens? You got your majority. And if Um, Mike Johnson doesn't want anybody coming to work the last few days uh, before October. Tell you what, Democrats, independents, shut them out. Shut them out of the chambers. Don't allow them in. Shut out Maga Mike. Period. You know? I think even Trump should be shut out of the White House. He should be locked out. Um, they're acting like, again, as I said before, they're acting like little toddlers, little brats, which, in my view, should be taken over by one's knee and spanked. That's how you get the point across. They have not, they should know now how Congress works. And I don't think they do. Green doesn't know how it works. Bulbert doesn't know how it works. And both of them took GED. Well, it takes more than GED to learn the civics. You have to go to college to learn more about civics and learn about how the law works. But do they? No, they chose to be stupid. Now, if somebody says to me, "You're being stupid for saying this," I go, "No, I'm not being stupid for saying this. I am saying this to get my point across." Okay? Take it or leave it. You know? We could all agree to disagree. We could disagree. We could agree. Or just mull it over and think, okay, you know. Those that get mad at me for saying this, it makes them think. I discovered it makes that person think. And if they don't believe anything I said or any of the facts or truth I said, I go, okay, then go look it up. Go to AI and get the truth. AI is supposed to tell the truth. It does not supposed to tell a lie. Okay? And people are scared of AI. Well, make AI work for you, not the other way around. Okay? Make it work for you. We can't go backwards, guys. We gotta move forward. And we gotta correct some big problems. And they say, well, why can't you go out and correct the problems? Well, number one, I don't have the mobility to go out and correct the problems. I don't have a car. And it's very frustrating. I'm sorry. It's very frustrating. Okay? Really is. Anyway, so really push back on this. Tell it like it is. That's how the truth gets out. Tell it like it is. And you say you don't like that person, which is Taco Donnie. I don't like him, never have. He was never my president. He was never my president the first time around, and the second time around, he should have been voted out. He should have been kept out. Okay? And I think he cheated there too. And Elon helped him cheat. And Elon Musk, that does not work either. Okay? Cheating could get you into trouble. It really can. Okay? Trump is now too old. Well, they say, well, President Biden's too old. Well, President Biden may be too old, but he's in a better frame of mind. He's he's a lot healthier, even though now he's fighting cancer off and on. But the guy's smart. He knows when to uh, say, yeah, my health was more important right now. Even though he wanted to run another term as president. But the first time around when he was President Biden, he did a wonderful job. He cleaned practically everything up. But there should have been stronger guardrails put in place to prevent any of the stuff that Trump is doing. Okay? There should have been a lot stronger guardrails. Matter of fact, a titanium wall should have been in place. So anyway, let me check my calendar. Hold on a second. Now, if you're still having trouble hearing me, Jean, Shanky, if you're hearing me okay, that's wonderful. If you're not, could be this microphone here, and I might have to go back to my camera microphone. Let's see, where are we? I will see you on Wednesday the 24th, and I'll be gathering more material and everything. I need to find out why. Too bad there's no way of testing my microphone and if you're hearing me okay. I know you're seeing me okay. I know that you're seeing me okay. If you still don't hear me well, use closed caption. Okay. That's why I put it on there. Because I'm hard of hearing and sometimes I can't hear what's being said, so I put on closed caption. I'm relying more on that now. Could be other thing too, Gene. It could be the microphone on your end that's going out. Make sure everything is plugged in securely. Could be that my desktop, now some of the components are quitting too. But if you can't hear me or it's very low and you got up so high, check on your lower right hand corner of your computer, Gene. There's a little speaker, and let's see. Now, can you hear me? Is that better? Anyway, there's a little speaker there, and there's a slide bar, and you just put it all the way up to 100%, and you should be able to hear me okay. If you don't hear me as well, then it could be your end. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, but it's one way of troubleshooting. Okay, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care, stay safe. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back hard. Start yelling. Start pointing things out. Start telling the truth. Push back and say, free speech is for everybody. Don't self-censor as much. Put out words that have meaning, okay, that get the point across. And point out the hypocrisy too. People say, well, you're hypocritical. I go, no, I'm not. The only ones who are hypocritical is the GOP side. They're the ones that are causing the problem. Okay? And they need to be replaced. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Love to all. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.